talking about R-rated topics.
They had to talk around the word.
If you haven't been on TikTok and you're not wise to the censorship workarounds, you may catch that in your research and go, I have no idea what they're talking about.
What causes language to change? On YouTube, there was a procedure put in place to prevent misinformation around the virus. YouTubers who were talking about the pandemic and the implications on other industries, they had to talk around the word to prevent getting demonetized and penalized for spreading misinformation, even if they were talking about something independent of the pandemic itself. Impact on the gaming world, where the virus was a factor, but it wasn't the topic.
TikTok is a very popular channel for content creators to push out teasers, right? So they want to lead people to their main content hub, which might be YouTube. A good example is comedians, stand-up comedians. So a lot of stand-up comedians are trying to hawk their wares and get people to come out to their shows. But because of the heavy restriction platform, and as you can imagine, a lot of comedians are talking about R-rated topics, they have to censor themselves on the platform. So they're using, they'll do an overlay script over their bit, and this can create language differentiation as well, because then it sort of takes on a life of its own and people start referring to it as that because, well, that's how we're talking about it on TikTok. If you haven't been on TikTok and you're not wise to the censorship workarounds, you may catch that in your research and go, I have no idea what they're talking about.
So whenever we are in an environment where there is an adversive kind of setup versus a positive incentive setup, they're still going to talk about the thing that they want to talk about. There's not going to be an ontology of all the creative ways that people can spell things, because sometimes it's not just a spelling variation, it's a complete swap out, and maybe it's a brand name.